Well, good afternoon, YouTube. Here with you at the chair once again. Yes, I do a lot of videos from this chair. As I said just a minute ago, I've done this once already. I'm trying to get the adjustment on the microphone to a good level. I just got back from the post office, mailed a kit off to England, and it was hot out, very hot. I did run the AC in the car, but still, you know, when you do short trips in a car like that, it really don't have much time to get cool in there, especially when it's been shut up all day so far. So anyway, it was bearable, so I can't complain too much. Got my business taken care of there and came back in, and glad to get back in the AC in here. Now this feels pretty good compared to outside. Anywho, as you can see clearly on the screen, there is a screaming demon there. And it is actually a demon. Now, I don't know if you noticed, anybody, you car guys out there, noticed that that last one was a Challenger, I believe. Not sure why they used a Challenger for the Screaming Demon, but the Dodge Demon was a car back in this era, along with the Plymouth Duster. Same car, except for, you know, obviously different manufacturing a little bit, but same Chrysler Corporation. So, anywho, I had a suggestion from a viewer of that video that I made last time to take the Dodge off of the side of the car and put DERB on it. Well, I kind of did that, but I just used a different picture. This is an actual demon, so it really matches what we're going for anyway a lot better. This is a Ratfink type drawing. I don't know if it was Ratfink, but that's what it looks like. And you can clearly see DERB on the front license plate there, and so I think that makes a nice little wallpaper, and so that's what we're doing. Also got Conky, that's the date and the time, yeah. Some other information it gives up there, and it just changed to 50. I got that set like I like it, and so everything is hunky-dory here. So, you know, basically, like I said, I'm just trying to set this microphone level down to an acceptable level, and that's about it. But other than that, I don't know. That's just what we're up against or trying to do today. And my main focus for today was to get that kit mailed, because it was ordered, I think, Saturday. It would have been Saturday, probably after the mail post office closed, because I didn't try to get it up there, so I don't remember exactly when it came in, but I wanted to get it out and get it mailed. So anywho, that's off, and I told Bob it's in the hands of the USPS. I said capable with quotes around it. Hands of the USPS. I said now all we can do is hope. So anyway, we usually don't have any problem sending stuff to England. It usually, in fact, it sometimes goes faster than domestic stuff. So. Like I said, we're hoping it will. It will go like the wind, as they say. But anywho, that's that. And so, like I said, I just wanted to test this, and I'm going to knock it off here and make sure it is okay. Then, if I think of anything else I want us to talk about, I'll come back and finish this up. But for now, that's it. And I am back again. I had done the first part of this. Well, you saw the time on the screen, and it was I would say perfect as far as the sound from the microphone was concerned. You know, like I say, if you play a video or something like that, it's going to probably have a little more echoey sound to it. But like I said, I think even that would work. So you know, that's probably good as well. So, okay, so I told you in that first video, I said I'd come back if I had something more to say. Well, I don't know that I have a lot more to say, but I thought, well, let me take my hat off here. Don't really need to wear that in the house. And anyway, it scrapes on the back of the chair when I tilt my head back, and I don't care for that. So, so what I thought about is I'm looking for some stuff. Now, you guys I know that follow me know that I've got all these things, projects, whatever you want to call them. I got all these printers going. I got the workshop is unfinished, obviously. I got this mess that you clearly saw in the video in here in the living room. Now the mess is easy to clean up because you basically go one trash bag and it's gone, and then take the boxes that haven't been folded down yet and fold them down, and that's pretty much it. I keep getting asking my son-in-law if we can get rid of these boxes, and he keeps saying yeah, but we never do it. So I don't know. They don't really bother me, but it's just, I'm normal, I would like a clean place to live in as well, but I'm just not one of these people that like to put out a lot of effort to get it that way. And everybody keeps telling especially my daughter, she says, Dad, just clean it up, and then you can hire somebody to come in and clean once a week or month or whatever. And, that's a good idea, except for, you got to do that first step, clean it up. And so, anywho, that's that. But, so, like I said, it is what it is there, but I kind of like making videos, obviously, you guys know that, but I like something different. Now, I've got this one in the can that, I do this every time with trip videos, and I don't know why, but I'll make the trip video, and then I think, I'm all excited, I'm going to go through it. But trip videos are hard to make because there's a lot of editing involved, and also there's, some overdubbing stuff that you want to put in there and things like that. And so it's just, I don't know, I kind of lose the spirit for that. I'm a down, way down deep, I am a lazy person, always have been. Just this way I have been, unless it's something I want to do, and then I'm pretty good about that. But so anyway, and now that I'm retired, obviously that's going pretty good. Now, just the stuff I have to do, like the business stuff, is like this morning I really didn't want to go to the post office, but after a weekend of not mailing it because it couldn't be mailed, I figured it had to be mailed, and I went ahead and did that. But again, that's not a big deal. It just meant going out in the heat a little bit. And, it was bearable. It wasn't that hot. So, anywho, I know, keep getting on these little tangents. But what I'm looking for is something to do in the workshop. I miss the workshop. I don't know you guys, it's been a long time since I've been in there. You guys follow me. I know Ron of Ron's Vintage Workshop, and I forget what the rest of it is, Ron. Sorry. But you know who you are. Ron C. We're talking, and like I said, I see his videos, and I kind of miss that stuff. And then I watch Don over at Restorable Radios, and Greg. Greg still does a video now and then, and like I said, I kind of miss doing that stuff. And same time, I feel like I don't want to get in there and start working again unless I can get that place cleaned up. And that one's a lot more work. It's not like the living room where I can just pick up trash and fold boxes. That one is actually getting underneath that workbench and securing that one end with the drawers. And once that's done, then I can pretty much proceed, make the other faux end that goes on there, and put my stuff back on the bench, and get it ready to go. That's what I want. I've got a brand new solder station for that side of the bench, and all this stuff that I've been buying and stuff like that. All the lighting hasn't been done yet. I've got to do that, and that's going to require redoing the pegboards and stuff like that. So I think my biggest problem is, and always has been, I always look at the big picture when I see something that needs to be done. I don't think about it in chunks, and I really need to think about it in chunks. Okay, go into the workshop, clean the bench off. That's a good start, and that's not that hard to do. And like I said, get that done, and then if you feel like doing more, do more. If not, hey, go do something else. It's not like I have to do all this stuff all at once, and that's what my mindset tells me I need to do, and I don't know. I have arguments with my mind all the time, and sometimes my mind wins and sometimes I win, but so anyway. And then poor old Bob, y'all know Bob. He's got a situation there that in his place that he can't do anything about because he's dependent on people that helped him move, to get their stuff out. And like I said, I'm sure he brings it up now and then, and they generally give him, oh yeah, we're gonna get on that or whatever. And just like Randy with the boxes, oh, we're gonna get them taken out of there. Yeah, okay. So I know, and it's partly me, because I know if I pressed Randy, he would say, oh, wait, when you want to do it, and we do it. But Randy's a busy guy. Randy does the paper route that I've mentioned many times. I've rode with him, and he is a manager of CVS in North Vernon, and he also takes care of his kids as far as my grandson and granddaughter. Mostly my granddaughter. She needs help more than my grandson does, but and he tries to do all that stuff, and then he's got his own place to keep up mowing, and he's got a fairly big yard. And so, I hate to bother Randy. Randy's always good about working on my car when I need it, and helping me, any way he can. So I don't like to push him. It's, I don't feel like it's a good thing to do, because, sometimes you push people and they push back, if you know what I mean. It's just, I don't want to cause ill feelings or anything like that. So anyway, that's that. It's not a big deal. That's why, I've got boxes laying on the floor. Okay, they're not hurting a soul. I have to walk around them, but other than that, they're not hurting a soul. So, that's that. Now, getting back to the crux of the matter, which is the workshop, I think that's what I want to do. If I can convince my mind that that's what I need to do, is go in there and just do a little bit. And I've done that before, and it worked out really good. And I've actually stuck to it and got things done that way. And that's really the only way to get things done, is to tackle them with that attitude that, you do as much as you want to do, and then do something else, or what, if you don't enjoy it anymore, if it gets that bad. So it's kind of like the business. And I told Bob when we started the business, I said, I'll do it as long as it's fun. And it's gotten a little bit bigger right now than I wanted to get, but at the same time, we're getting opportunities to buy things like the V3 Plus that we just bought, and we already had that V2 Neo printer. So we've got two 3D printers the business does, and they're both at Bob's house, and that's bad on Bob, because it gives him more stuff to add to his clutter. So, but Bob's the expert, and I use that term loosely, because he's not an expert, but he is better with 3D printing and stuff like that than I am. I tend to excel at Tinkercad, things like that, to just like the mount for the micro. I found one on Thingiverse or somewhere, and it had a completely different setup, and then I found another with a Visa mount, and I basically combined the two to where it would work for my setup. And so, that I can do that, and I can design things in Tinkercad. Don't get me wrong. As long as I've got the dimensions of whatever you want, and how it looks and things like that, it's not a big deal. But anyway, like I said, that's just another thing. And so that's my dilemma today. It's 1:05 now. Bob will be taking his nap here very soon. And so while he's doing that, I generally do something I want to do or whatever. I mean, I generally do what I want to do anyway. But sometimes Bob's, is in a mood to text. I don't think he's feeling good today. Didn't sleep well. So, he hasn't been very much texting and things like that. So anywho, that's that. And like I said, I didn't really want to make a long video of this. I just wanted something quick to throw up. But that's my dilemma for today. I'm trying to basically get in the workshop and do some cleaning and organization. That's the key for me in that workshop. I find things on the bench, and I have no place for them. And I've been over this. I know I've described it many times. As long as I have a place for it, I can put it in that place, and it's okay. But if there's no place for it, then it goes into a pile or whatever, and then I have to eventually decide something to do with it. There's several main organizational type things, like computer parts, that all goes together, printer parts, they all go together, tools, they would go together, projects, they would go into their own boxes or whatever. I've got it down pretty good, and as long as I've got a place to put it, then I can put it there. Pegboard is the tools usually, but again, like I said, there's some things that don't meet all of those criteria. In other words, they don't have a category they fit into. I've got now a good example is I've got two power supplies in there, and both of them capable of working. And I've got one that's actually together and working, but it doesn't work absolutely perfect. But like I said, it's capable of putting out voltage and using for projects. The other one is just lacking basically a little sand job on the top, or actually on the back, so that the top fits. And once I get that done, I can put screws in it, and it'll be ready to go and use. And then I've got a third power supply that's only in the, I don't know what kind of stage you talk about, but in the mid stage or whatever. It's got the case that's printed. It's got the wiring wired. I think it's just a matter of fitting the case together and getting some other things done. But, I could concentrate on those and get those done. That would be an easy thing to do. And just something I don't really enjoy doing, sanding. I can use the Dremel, but I never can get the Dremel to have an even surface. In other words, it uses that round rotating drum of sandpaper, and I always get divots in it. You know what I mean? It makes low spots in places like that. So what you really need on that is a sanding block type situation where you can sand it even, and then maybe on the curves of the back, then you can use that Dremel, or even the sanding block would work on that if you wanted to. So. All right, so you know my problem, and my problem. And so I'm going to get off of here and get some stuff done, hopefully. I try to get, I know I'm talking again, but I try to get the business stuff done first. That's the stuff that worries me. And I don't like being worried. I'm not a worrier by nature. But sometimes things worry me. Bills, if they're paid or not, the rent, all that stuff. That kind of worries me if it don't get paid in time or whatever. But as far as the other stuff that worries me, business stuff, if people pay us money and they order something, it needs to be shipped out. And the same way with as if there's a problem with it, they need to get parts to fix it with. I had a situation here recently with a guy in Louisville that one of the dip socket arrived to his place, and the pins had broke off, and I shipped him one, and the post office destroyed that one. I mean, they just totally destroyed it. So I shipped him another one. I have not heard back, so I'm assuming all was well. I'm hoping, because that's all you can assume if nobody wants to contact you. I could email him and ask, but I figure as long as he's not complaining, then he's probably happy. So anyway, that doesn't bother me then, when somebody doesn't say anything. So. But anyway, I try to get that done. If we get an order, I try to get it into the database, the order database, and get all that stuff done. Because I have two computers set up. I have this one here that generally is the one I take orders with as far as emailing and things like that, because I've got it all set up on this one. And the shipping department, then, I've got the access to the database in there as well. Now, you have to make sure, just like right now down here is open. And it's not now. I've closed it out. But sometimes if you see down here this database is open, then you have to close that out because you can't access it from two different locations. So, like I said, that gets done, and I want to make sure that all gets done. So, but that's the only thing that really bothers me. Other than that, I kind of worry about people coming in, and I don't have a lot of visitors here. And I think if they get to the door and look inside, they get one look, and they turn around and go back the other way. But that can be good or bad, I guess. I don't know. But so anyway, like I said, there's things that worry me, and I like to get those done. And I'm not worried about the workshop. I'm not really worried about it at all, because if I never did another thing with it, it wouldn't bother me. That's the other thing. I've got that Buick sitting out in the garage. Now that kind of worried me a little bit, because my daughter we was talking about the other day when we was going on a trip, and she said, "What are you going to do with that?" And I said, "Nothing." She said, "So when you die, it's just going to be for us to do something with." I said, "Pretty much." So, but the thing of it is, what do? You can't sell it because it's got a lien on it. So It's just, I don't know what to do with it. I could take it to the junkyard, I guess. I don't even want to do that because it's got a lot of good parts on it. You hate to, one of the ideas I had when I bought that was save another old car. It's something in our past, that's going away. And so when they all get scrapped and make new tin cans out of them, what do you do then? You don't have any more. So, okay, there was one more thing I wanted to show you before I got off, and I forgot all about it. I'm easily led astray, as they say. One of the things I do on a lot of my Linux versions, OSs and things like that, for getting software. Now you can always get it through the package OS package distributor. For MX Linux, it's basically a package installer right there. You see it? You can get them that way, but they're usually older versions of the program. They're not those repositories are not kept up to date as well as they should be. So what I have been doing lately is doing the Flatpak, and you get those off the FlatHub, and I'm going to show you exactly how you do that. You basically go here, and here's Strawberry. I was going to load Strawberry on here, so I have my music. And basically, you hit install, but you have to have a certain thing to do it. I do it this way. It gives you the terminal command to do that. Copy that, and you see there's a clip check mark. I cannot talk today. That shows you that it's working, or that it took. Then you go to your terminal, and basically you just right-click, hit paste, and there's that command, and you hit enter, and it says, do you want to proceed with these changes to your system installation? Yes. And it will install that for you, basically, and it's always the latest version. That's the thing I like about it. That was pretty easy, right? And then every month or so, even a couple of months, if everything is working fine, why change it? But you can go through and do another one or an update. You basically come in here and Flatpak, update Flatpak or something like that. It's a command you use, and I've got it somewhere. But anyway, that's all you have to do. And then if we go down to our menu, multimedia, there's Strawberry right there. Hey, how about that? So Strawberry's free and open. Okay, thank you. And so I'm not going to go through and add all the music because that takes a while. You know me, I got a lot of music. But anyway, that's how easy that is to do. And I've been doing that a lot here lately is Flatpak. So in case any of you guys are newbies on a Linux thing and you're having trouble installing something, check Flatpak. And basically all you have to do is put the program name in and Flatpak in Google, and it will come up if that program is in FlatHub. It will come up with a screen like you just saw, and you can copy that terminal command, and it'll install it. Now, sometimes there is a chance that your OS is not set up for Flatpak, and I think it's basically apt-get Flatpak or something like that. But there's a thing for that. Just Google get Flatpak or something like that, and it'll come up with the command you need to run for that. So, and then once you do that, all the Flatpak Hub stuff works, and so it works really good. So, all right, that was all I wanted to add to this. So you go away, and I'll go away, and we'll all go away.